Alright, let's compare Street Fighter pros to their NBA equivalent. Now this is no word of a lie, this is the stupidest video I've ever made, but we all have that one friend that has to have everything explained to them in NBA terms. Explain this investment to me in NBA terms. Explain this hockey player to me in NBA terms. You can't explain everything in NBA terms, but I'm going to try with some of our favorite Street Fighter players. And I thought, you know what better time than the start of the NBA season. Let me know in the comment section what team you support. And if you don't support basketball, let me know what sport and your favorite team as well. I like to know that about my followers, because I want to know who I can trust and who I can't trust. So this is how it works. I pick a Street Fighter Pro and match them with an NBA equivalent. Sounds pretty simple, but believe me, it wasn't. And some players actually get two NBA equivalents, and I promise I have a justification for why, but it's really hard to narrow it down to just one player for some. And it's not just NBA players from today's game, I got NBA players from every era, so I got something for everybody. So without further ado, let's get into it, and let me know in the comment section just how stupid I am. So when you hear Tokido's name when it comes to Street Fighter, instantly fear just sets through your entire body. And that's because Tokido's one of the best Street Fighter players of all time, and he's considered one of the Japanese gods of Street Fighter. But to me, there's only one equivalent NBA player that I can give him, and that's the late great Kobe Bryant. RIP to a true legend. I mean, seriously, very few players bring that fear that Kobe had in an NBA game. If you knew you're matched up with him in a playoff series or you were guarding him, I guarantee you people were just shook the entire time. And that must be the same feeling you get when you see Tokido lined up against you in your bracket. And the comparisons don't stop there. Both players are known for just how competitive they are and how hard they work to improve the craft they love. And because of that, they've been so successful and they've influenced tons of people around the world. Even some of the quotes that Tokido's delivered in interviews just scream Kobe to me. Listen to some of these. In one interview, Tokido would say that he would play anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day to get ready for a tournament. He would often work out in the gym to improve his stamina and endurance, and he would drop bad habits like alcohol and staying up late just to be tournament ready. And he'd go on to say, with winning above everything else, I've been known to perform some boring plays to spectators, but I've also been given the name of an ice age cold-hearted killer. So you know, that just screams Kobe to me, and I'm sure it does to many people listening as well. And the way Tokido would explain how he would just go and do the same thing over and over to improve his craft reminds me of all the stories you heard about Kobe going to the gym, doing 3 workouts a day just to make sure that he was the best that he could be. And honestly, how can you not give someone with a nickname Murder Face to be compared to an assassin like Kobe on the court? We miss you, Kobe. The NBA will never be the same without your presence, brother. Up next, we have Punk the God, and I'm going to say it right now, Punk is the first person on this list to be represented by 2 NBA equivalents. And I know you're going to wonder who and what, but to me, they are the perfect fit. I'm going to argue why I think so, but let's get into it. So the first person, I just thought this was a slam dunk pick. It's Steph Curry. Chef Curry. Punk is very similar to Steph Curry, and here's why. The same way that Chef came into the league dominating with 3 points, he changed the trajectory of the entire sport. Every gym you go to now, kids are shooting threes. None of this would have been possible without Steph Curry's influence. And just how Chef changed the NBA with his 3-pointers, Punk changed Street Fighter forever with his reactions. No one has reactions anywhere on the same planet as this man, but guess what? He started that new trend where every single player coming up these days has reactions like we've never seen before. And I think a lot of that has to go to Punk. So the next time you're getting your ass absolutely whooped by a kid thanks to whiff punish reactions, you can thank Punk. And then the next player I gotta get to Punk, it's Anthony Edwards. And you're gonna wonder why? It all comes down to bravado. And I mean this in the best way possible. Punk knows he's the guy, just like Ant knows he's the guy, and he has no problem telling you he's the guy as well. And that just adds to his legendary status and his aura. So if you ask me, being compared to Curry and Ant, there are worse things out there in life. So Punk, keep on winning, brother. What up, everybody? This is Sing from the future, and honestly, some bad news. I was recording this a few weeks back, so this was before the Kakeru news came out. Very sad that he had to retire. On a human level, personal level, it's very sad just to know that someone can't pursue their passion or their careers. I hope one day he'll be able to come back if his health gets better or improvements in technology help him get back to that level. But you know what? We love you, Kakeru, and you got a good compliment in my video as well. Peace out, and I hope one day you have a big recovery. Up next is the $1 million man himself, Kakeru. And Kakeru is actually the player that had a tough time coming up with an NBA equivalent, But when I did, I was very satisfied. And that player is none other than KD Kevin Durant. So the first thing that just comes out to me with a comparison is just if KD or Kakeru are on their game, there's nothing you can do. You could have prepped for years. You're going to lose that game because the skill that they have, when it's popping off, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And just like KD is so technically impressive as a player, someone his size should not be able to move the way he does, shoot the way he does, but he defied all odds. The same way Kakeru plays JP, his JP should not be as agile as it is. But when you play Kakeru's JP, he can zone you out like a true zoner, or he'll rush you down like Cammy. He's the only JP that can do that, just like KD is the only player of his arc that could ever do that either. The other thing is nicknames. KD's got crazy nicknames. KD for one, Slim Reaper, Easy Money Sniper. You can't come up with better names for this, but I did come up with an awesome name for Kakeru. Let me know what you think. Big Cock. I know, trademark it. It's the best. Put it on shirts. Make $1 million. I don't even want any money out of it. Send it all to the GOAT, Kakeru. Let's talk about Noah the Prodigy. And Noah's another player. He gets 2 equivalents. I don't make the rules, well maybe I do, but his 2 equivalents are KG Kevin Garnett and Draymond Green. And you know a comparison rocks when it's the first 2 thoughts that come into your head. But you know what? These are 2 first ballot Hall of Fame players that have had legendary careers. And their trash talk is unmatched. You find me a better trash talker than Noah. You can't. Even if you're winning, he's going to find a way to tear you down in a good way, in a competitive way. That's why I think Draymond and KG are perfect for him. And you know what? These are 2 legendary players like I mentioned. There is no Golden State dynasty without Draymond. And there's no Boston Celtics return to championship form without KG. Noah's someone that you hate when he's not on your team, but you'll do anything for him when he's on your team. Also, can't you just imagine Noah saying some of these things to his opponents? And how it's the funniest thing you'll ever hear in your life?
Hey G, man, you was my favorite player, dog. I had your poster on my wall, and right, he telling him all this, he breaking it down. KG was like, get off my and then he said, figure it out. Shit.
He just like...
Now we got a Mount Rushmore fighting game player, Justin Wong. Who's Justin Wong's comparable? Let me know if you got it. Who else could it be than Tim Duncan? Man, what else needs to be said? Both these players have earned the nickname the Big Fundamental. These 2 players go together like turkey and stuffing. And growing up, people used to criticize Duncan for being boring compared to other NBA stars. And believe it or not, the same people used to say the same thing about Justin Wong when it came to Third Strike or CVS 2. But they couldn't be further from the truth. Because what people saw as boring was just them being hella fundamentally and defensively sound, and they would rip you apart when they had to. And it led them both to Hall of Fame careers. They're all-time great, top 10, top 5 players in their sport. And Justin is simply a marvel, and no pun intended for all the marble tournaments that he's won. But if you ever watch his streams, he can dominate basically any fighting game he plays that's not even Street Fighter related, just because he brings in his history of fundamentals and defensive play. Look at his last exhibition with Betty. Betty is a better Street Fighter 6 player than Justin, but the fact that Justin has years of experience with those fundamentals, he's the one that came out with the W. So these 2 players are the perfect match. I won't hear anything else. Up next, I got one of my favorite players, Ending Walker. And this was another one. It took me some time to come up with, but when I got the player, it felt perfect. And for Ending Walker, I got Luka Doncic. So when I was thinking about this comparison, and then I finally landed on Luka, it just hit perfectly. Because Ending Walker, the reason he's one of my favorite players is I feel that he just has the best feel for the game. When he's playing Ed, when he's playing Ryu, he plays them different than basically any other player that picks those characters. He has his own flair to it, and he does things that are so difficult that are just based on either reactions or the feel he has for the game. And that's Luka in a nutshell. The things that he's capable of doing, they don't just come with putting hours in the gym or just working on your shot as much as you can. They come from playing the game a certain way and learning about different positions and what to do based on the feel of the court or what players are doing. So I think these 2 go hand in hand when it comes to that comparison. And one thing I love about these 2 players is they can take chaotic situations or wild scrambles and turn them into something beautiful in the game. And this is not something that every player is capable of. You have to pull that from within. You might not even know some of these options are available, but these two guys know everything they're capable of and when they can do it. So to me, they're the perfect match. Alright, we got Kintyo, one of the Terry GOATs, and if you're not new to this channel, I don't gotta tell you, but I absolutely love this man's content. The kids might say I glaze it too much, but I don't give a shit. What I'm here to tell you is, he's one of the most exciting players I've ever seen. So there's only one player you can give him, and that's Vince Carter. And I can already hear it now. The younger generation, why the hell is Vince Carter on this list? What has he ever done? This is not the Vince Carter you remember coming off the bench. Vince Carter in his prime was the single most exciting player in the NBA, and arguably the most exciting player in NBA history. Go watch his highlights if you don't believe me. But you know what? I'll make your life easy. I'm just going to show you the highlights on the screen right now. It's crazy to just think about Vinsanity. You know how you all know about Linsanity? It was Vinsanity that started it all. People would tune in late. It didn't matter how trash the Raptors were. They just wanted to see this man jump out of the building. And more often than not, he would do that. He would sell out away buildings as the #1 ticket. And oftentimes, when he would pop out for the big dunk, the away building would cheer like it was their own team that did it. It was just unbelievable times, man. And just like VC put Toronto on the map, Kintyo put Terry on the map. This guy is putting Terry Tech like no other player, and wherever he is on stream, you know people are going to tune in because he's must-watch TV. Kintyo, VC, two GOATs. And from one superstar Terry to another, up next we got Riddles. And who else can Riddles be compared to than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also known as SGA. And the first similarity, and the most important, they're two Canadian GOATs. And you know I had to bring Canada into this. Us Canadian boys got to stick together. But seriously, they're two Canadians that are the franchise faces of their game. And to me, that's worth something. Another similarity they have, you cannot pin them down when it comes to offense. Just when you think you have them solved and you have the answer, they're going to pull out something and they're going to hit you with a wave of offense that you've never seen before. And you know what? Chances are you ain't defending against it either. And I'll leave Riddles with this message. Just like SGA got his championship last year, your time is coming too. And I know you're going to bring home those big tournaments soon. Keep your head up. You got this, brother. Up next is Leshar, Mr. AKA Win Everything lately. To me, he strikes me as a player that fits very well with Nikola Jokic. Now, the reason I have these two as comparisons is when you look at Jokic, his offensive versatility, this man just has an answer for everything. You need assists, you need rebounds, three-pointers, he'll get it for you. His bag of tricks when it comes to offense is basically unmatched. But where Jokic has his bag of tricks, Leshar's got his bag of characters. And this man knows how to master basically every character that matters. If you need to pull out an Ed, Terry, Mai, he's going to pull them out and play them at a super grandmaster level. And there's so many tournaments he's gone into that bag to win matchups that would probably not be favorable for the character he was using. Having this type of versatility makes him an absolute menace and a beast to stop in tournament. And does it have to be said, both of these players are champions? It just runs in their veins. Up next, we got a generational superstar in Blaz from Chile. Who else could he be but the generational superstar Victor Wembanyama, Wemby? I mean, there's not much to go on this outside of both of these players are going to be the face of their franchise game for a very long time to come. Blaz is only 16 years old. This just blows my mind. I don't even know if he has a driver's license. Like, this kid is crazy. He's dominating Street Fighter players, and he's come up with a lot of second place finishes lately, but he's losing to a lot of seasoned pros. And once he gets some more experience, a lot like Wemby, they're just going to be bringing in the championships left, right, and center. And you know what? There's nothing anyone can do to stop them. And I'm all here for it. Let me know what you think about this comparison. Alright, we got Menard next, and I'm in some hot water on this one. I'm in a can't win situation because my boys think I sip Mena way too hard. But you know what? The two players that I picked for Mena ain't gonna help my case here because he's got LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal. I don't want to hear it. Let's get into it. Now, I know what you're gonna say. How can you get two legendary players like that? I'm here to break it down and why I came up with this thought process. The reason I gave Mena LeBron is mostly because of legacy reasons. Because you see, LeBron is a really hard player to narrow down into a Street Fighter player. He's so dominant, he's so versatile. Not too many players are like that. But when it comes down to legacy, he's the only player in NBA history that has a chance of surpassing Michael Jordan as the all-time great. Will he do it? Of course not. Okay, we don't know if that's going to happen. But seriously, Mena is the only player in Street Fighter history right now that is a chance to go down as the all-time great. If he keeps winning Capcom Cups or EVO Championships in the future, what else can you say? He's got the best trophy list out there. So that's why I have LeBron listed for MENA #1. And now you can say, Sing, how can you give him Shaq as well? Because I know a lot of the younger generation just remember Shaq as a Celtic or a Phoenix Sun, but I'm here to tell you, Orlando and Lakers Shaq was the most dominant athlete this sport has ever seen. And he just steamrolled opponents. I remember one of my buddies was a diehard 76ers fan, and in that finals where the Lakers won in 5, he looked like he saw a ghost. Every time Shaq had the ball, there was nothing Philly could do. It was game over, and that's just how dominant Shaq was. And it reminds me of MENA. When MENA is rolling, he not only beats opponents, he obliterates them. He steamrolls them. When he played Kakeru at that EVO finals, you would think it would be a close set, but when the ball is rolling for MENA, it's game over. And to me, that is so Shaq-like that I had to put him in for this. Call me a simp, I'll proudly wear that badge. But MENA gets both players. And of course, I made you wait for Daigo until the very last pick. But this is the most obvious slam dunk pick in the entire list. Who else could Daigo be than the GOAT himself, MJ Michael Jordan? Like, I think it's fair to say it's just universally accepted that Daigo is a Street Fighter GOAT. And he's a huge reason why so many people play Street Fighter. I mean, even comparing playing styles, the similarities are right there. They're two players with just ice water in their veins. They never get rattled. They have this aura around them where you just know when you're going to go up against them, you're in for the battle of your life. And I think both of these guys had that in spades. I mean, MJ's got that iconic Jumpman logo. You might as well turn the Shoryuken logo into Daigo as well, because those two logos represent both players to a T. And yes, I know Daigo is now in his Washington Wizards phase of his Jordan career, but guess what? He's still slapping folks around, and you're always going to tune in to see what he's up to next. You don't do that for any player except the GOAT. So this was a very easy decision for me, and one I'm not going to lose any sleep over. You can fight me in the comment section till the bitter end. Daigo and Jordan are perfect for each other. Alright, that's the video. I hope you like some of these comparisons in this stupid video. I actually love making these types of videos. Whether people like them or not, I have fun making them, so I'm probably going to do more of them in the future. But until then, I'll catch you on the next one, and I hope your team wins the next game, unless it's against my team. Peace out, everybody.